Hey there, English learners! Welcome back to EnglishConv, where we turn conversation practice into an adventure. Today's mission, chat with Maya, a fellow student on a learning quest just like you. First up, listen closely to Maya. You can follow along with the text on screen, or even activate YouTube translation for a little extra help. Next, Maya's tossing the conversation ball your way. But don't worry, Alex, that's you. We'll be whispering the answers so you can shadow his voice and become a pronunciation pro. Ready to level up your English? Let's do this!
A cozy coffee shop, late afternoon. Sunlight streams through the window, casting warm light on two friends. Maya and Alex, catching up.
So, Paris. Tell me everything.
Maya, it was incredible. The museums, the food, the people watching. I even climbed all the way to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
I fall in love, are we?
Maybe a little. But seriously, the view from up there was breathtaking. The whole city spread out like a postcard.
Sounds amazing. Did you get any good pictures?
Oh, tons. Here, look at this one by the Seine at sunset.
Wow, that's beautiful. You look so happy.
I am. It was honestly the most freeing trip I've ever taken. Just me, wandering around a new city, getting lost. Well, not really lost, but you know.
I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you just need to break away from the routine. See the world from a different perspective.
Exactly. Speaking of breaking away, have you decided what you're doing after graduation yet?
I'm still on the fence. Part of me wants to take a gap year and travel like you. But the other part feels this pressure to get a steady job right away.
I hear you. But listen, there's no right or wrong answer. Do what feels right for you. You could always travel for a few months and then come back. And job hunt with a renewed sense of purpose.
You know what? You're right. Maybe a little adventure wouldn't hurt.
There you go. Besides, with the stories you'll have, you'll ace any interview.
True. Thanks, Alex. You always know how to make me see things clearly.
That's what friends are for. Now, how about we celebrate your future adventures with another round of coffee? My treat, Parisian souvenir style.
You had me at coffee. Thanks for the coffee, Parisian high roller. Speaking of adventures, how are things going with your history thesis? Did your trip inspire any new angles?
Hardly a high roller, but the coffee's on the house. Actually, it did. There's this whole section about the influence of the French Revolution on urban planning. And seeing Paris firsthand definitely gave me a deeper understanding.
That's awesome. I bet you have some killer visuals to go with it now too.
Absolutely. I even stumbled upon a tiny bookstore with some fascinating texts on the topic. Hopefully, Professor Du Bois will be impressed.
I'm sure he will. So, you're still on track to finish by the deadline.
Fingers crossed. But enough about me. How's your marine biology research coming along?
It's going well, but also a little frustrating. We're trying to analyze these new coral samples, but the data's kind of all over the place.
Ooh, I hate when that happens. Have you tried double-checking your methods?
We have, but everything seems sound. Maybe we need a fresh perspective, like you said about your thesis. Maybe a trip to the actual reef itself would be the answer.
Now that's an adventure. Imagine the research you could do with first-hand data. You could even turn it into a post-graduation trip. Combine travel with a deep dive into your studies.
You know what? That's actually a fantastic idea. I could focus on a specific section of the reef and see how it compares to the data we have. Talk about an unforgettable experience.
See? A little break from the routine can spark some serious inspiration. Professor Chen would be ecstatic, I bet.
You're on a roll with the good ideas today, Alex. Maybe a Parisian souvenir and a research trip to the tropics are in my future.
Now that's a future I can get behind. Cheers to adventures, new discoveries, and maybe even acing those final projects.
Cheers to that. Here's to adventures. So, besides Paris, anything else exciting happen while you were gone? Any family drama or surprise visits?
Thankfully, no drama. But my sister, Sarah, did graduate from nursing school. She's already landed a job at the new children's hospital downtown.
Wow, that's fantastic. She's always been so passionate about helping kids. I bet your parents are bursting with pride.
They absolutely are. They're already planning a big family celebration when I get back. Speaking of family, how are things with your folks?
They're doing well. My dad's actually been getting more and more into gardening lately. He's even converted half the backyard into a little vegetable patch.
No way. That's amazing. Maybe he can give me some tips. I was thinking of trying to grow some herbs on my balcony this summer.
He'd love to help. He's become a bit of a gardening guru lately. Just be warned, he might bombard you with tomato plant varieties.
Sounds like a challenge I'm willing to take on. Maybe I can convince him to share some of his homegrown vegetables. When I come over for Sarah's graduation party.
Knowing Dad, he'd probably pack your car full of zucchini and cucumbers by the time you leave. He gets a little carried away sometimes.
Sounds like a delicious problem to have. Seriously though, it's great to hear your dad's found a new hobby he enjoys.
Yeah, it's been good for him. He retired a couple years ago, and it took him a while to adjust. But the garden's definitely given him a new sense of purpose.
That's wonderful. Retirement can be a big adjustment. Maybe I can get some tips from your dad for when it's my turn, in, you know, a few decades.
Trust me, you won't have to wait that long for him to share his wisdom. He loves giving unsolicited advice, especially to youngsters like us.
Hey, I resent that. But seriously, it's good to catch up on family news. Sometimes you get so caught up in your own life. You forget to ask about what's going on with the people who matter most.